Keep in mind that people are 100 times more interested in their own problems than in yours. Hi guys, Yegi here. Welcome back. Today I want to talk about the importance of being a good conversationalist. Most leaders in the world, like our presidents, politicians, top entrepreneurs, CEOs, that's one skill that I've noticed they all have, is to be good conversationalists. And it totally just hit me today that we all need to be good at this skill in order to be successful. So I want to talk about that briefly. It's simple, yet it does take a minute to realize and soak it in and practice it as you're talking with people, meeting people, mingling with people, even on the phone, even on social media, and in person, most importantly. So if you want to be successful, this is a skill, a personal development skill that you should start working on. And I myself am going to pay more attention and work on it as well. Everybody likes talking about themselves. So that's one thing we need to realize. And in order to be recognized and be remembered and have a good impression in the person in front of you, whether it be at job interviews, recruiting events, networking events, or even meeting important people or friends, even making friends. Yes, I said it. Even just making friends, it is important to be a good conversationalist. And realize that in any scenario, professional or even social, and on social media and in person, if you build this skill, you will be more likable, therefore more successful. And the way we're going to do that is, instead of talking about ourselves, we're always going to lead the conversation in asking questions and getting to know the person in front of us. And it has to be genuine. You can't pretend you're interested. So next time you meet somebody or you're online, make sure to ask somebody, how was their day? What are some things they're currently working on? Ask them questions, keep them talking. Like I said, even at job interviews, when you're the one getting most of the questions asked, you should find a moment to stop and ask questions and show interest in the other person. You can test this theory. You'll see when people start smiling, getting excited if you show interest in them and ask them questions. I've recently realized this because before I would think I was too busy or I had too much going on. It was always go, 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 quick conversation. I don't really care what's going on. Let's just cut to the chase, bam, boom, out of the way. But I've just realized that it is very important to stop and show that you're interested in the person in front of you. Or if it's online, email, social media, like I said, in any scenario. For friends, professional, it works. And then the second thing is to always, What I meant to say is, everybody wants to feel special, and by you showing interest, that makes people feel special. And therefore, they're gonna be more likely to remember you, your name, you're gonna be more likable, therefore maybe have more opportunities professionally or even have more friends, and therefore leading to a happier, better, successful life. So this also applies to customer service. There's an angry customer. Most of the time, they want the person in front of them to understand them, to hear them out and see what went wrong, why they're complaining. And literally the main skill for us to develop to even give good customer service is listening. Unfortunately, listening versus talking is a more difficult task to do. We would think that talking would be the harder task, but if you pay attention, actually, studies have shown that there's way better talkers than good listeners. So work on your listening skills, and you'll also be better at providing customer service. If somebody comes in to your store or is on the phone and is complaining and they're unhappy with a certain service, or they're unhappy with a certain product, and keep going on and on and on and on, instead of you just saying, for example, let's say the item was a final sale, instead of you just cutting them short and saying, sorry, the item was final sale, and ending the conversation right there, what you can do is actually just stop, listen, even if it takes a long time, listen to their full story of why this is important to them. Make sure you acknowledge and show them that you are interested in resolving their issue and that they're your priority to keep them happy. And at that point, you may want to make an exception to the regular rule if somebody's going out of their way to take so much time to explain something to you. And at the end of it, both of you would be happier. And even though you might lose money on that one item right now, you in the long run have gained a loyal, trusted customer. And I've done this a lot in my career or past careers, all my life, well, not all my life, but as I learned, and it has paid off. And I've had a lot of loyal following and customers, or even students back then when I was working at the university that trusted in me because they knew no matter how frustrated they were, my end goal was to take care of them, and I was going to do whatever it took to keep them happy. Of course, there's always exceptions, but trust me, be a good listener, and this is part of it. The last thing I want to touch base on is being a good conversationalist, aka being a great listener, is also a bonus for people who come to you for advice. If you haven't noticed, pay attention. Sometimes people come to you for advice. They're not actually coming to you for advice. They don't really want your opinion. What they really want is for you to listen to them, sort through their options and opinions and thoughts in their head. And once they start talking and going on and on and on, if you jump in there and intervene and give your opinion and your advice and your help, most likely they're not going to be happy and they're still not going to take your advice. What you should do is anytime somebody even comes to you for advice, first just listen fully, let them talk through everything, ask questions, don't give your advice, listen and see what they come up with. And I bet you at the end of it, they will have a solution to their dilemma compared to you giving your advice or your opinion. And when I figured this out, I think it was after I was reading a book, and it hit me. I do this all the time with my employees. I actually, when I want to figure something out, I will go to them and talk to them and say, so how are we going to do this? And then by the time I'm done talking, I end up coming up with a solution and telling them, okay, this is how we're going to execute it. So it's really amazing to see that. And it shows why being a good listener is a must. So to conclude, I want to give you guys a few pointers. Keep in mind that people are 100 times more interested in their own problems than in yours. So be a good listener, ask questions, and you'll be more liked. Be a better conversationalist, and therefore be remembered. To be interesting, you also need to be interested in other people. People who talk only about themselves and they don't give other people a chance to talk or listen to other people, they're only interested in themselves. And nobody really likes people who are too into themselves, have too high of an ego. So next time you're in a group conversation, think about others. Think to listen and ask them questions of what's going on with their lives versus only always talking about yourself. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed these videos and you get value out of them. I want all of us to be happy and successful. So like, comment, share, and let me know what you think. Have a great day. Bye. Today I want to talk about the importance of being a good conversationalist. I can't say it. Conversationist? How do you say it? Conversationalist or conversationist?
Conversationalist.
Conversationalist. Okay.